Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, and we continue our 2018 football preview with Coach Chris Lindner on the couch here today, Loyal Greyhound head coach. Thanks for being here today, Chris.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, good. Well, we're going to have some fun. We're going to learn a little bit more about you. We're going to learn about Loyal football, and who knows, maybe we'll learn about something else too along the way. So before we get into this year, we'll just talk about 2017 a little bit, kind of put, at least for me, a final bow on 2017, and then we'll look forward to the 2018 season. You were undefeated in conference last year, 7-0. What made that all possible?
I would say our seniors really brought our team together, and I thought our team really grew throughout the year and bonded and built a closeness that they built and they trusted one another. And I think that was a big thing, that unity that helped them get through a lot of tough games, and even the two non-conference games that we had against Bangor and Edgar. They just did a really nice job of keeping us together through those games and realizing, hey, we need to continue to work if we want to win conference and if we want to make a deep playoff run. And that's kind of the reason why we scheduled those two games, to see where our program was. And obviously they were the elite of our division, if not more. So we definitely saw that we had some work to do. Dealing with those two games, I thought our kids really pulled it back together and came up with a huge win at the end of the year against Abbey for the conference championship. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks later, we got beat by Abbey to move on. But both very good games, and it's been kind of very competitive with them in the last few years.
Sure. Coach, you mentioned Bangor and Edgar last year. Bangor ended up as a state champion. You played them first or earlier in the season than Edgar. Edgar also had another fabulous season, and they actually met in the playoffs against Bangor, who many thought really was the state championship game, and the rest was a formality after that. I won't ask you to comment on that. That's my job to say those kind of things. Yet, you mentioned a little bit. So you played against those two non-conference schools. There's obviously some strategy and some thinking into why to schedule those types. What did you learn that you can take into 2018 after playing those kind of teams?
I think their kids' commitment to their program and what they have done throughout the off season and into the season, and how they run their program. And I think a big thing is just to get our kids to see, hey, we're all right, but there's another step here that we need to take, and I think that opened some eyes, and hopefully it will work for us this year, and hopefully they continue to work hard like they have the last couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, let's talk then a little bit about 2018. Again, here with Loyal Greyhound head coach Chris Lindner, Jason Zaleski with you on Coach on the Couch. So as we start in 2018, how many years coaching, and then what keeps you motivated to keep going?
This is my 24th as part of the coaching staff at Loyal. I do believe it's my 22nd as head. What keeps me motivated is just seeing our young men come out and succeed. And we talk a lot about it is a game of football, but it's a lot more than that. We really relate football to real life situations, and we really are trying to create men of character and have, when they leave our program, they built a bond with each other. Mm-hmm. They loved what they did in the game of football or in our program, and they're better people after they leave our program, so they can go out in society and be productive.
Yeah, and with that being said, I'll just chip in here. I am every day thankful that I played organized sports all throughout my childhood and a little bit beyond, because just all those lessons you learn, and you do apply them in your daily life. You're just able to do things, I think, that maybe I wouldn't have been able to do without sports in my life. So yeah, I'm thankful for that every day. Senior leadership, big thing in team sports. It's also, I think, a really big thing in football. Talk about the seniors on the team this year and what their leadership qualities and what you expect them to do on the team this year.
Well, we try to sell the program that it's their team. As a senior, you've been with us for the most part 4 years. It is your team. How do you want it ran? And try to convince them to lead them and get the kids to follow them in positive ways. And We have a nice number of seniors this year with 11 or 12 I do believe, and we have all sorts of leaders. We have some that are very quiet and just do the job and lead by example, and some are a little bit more vocal. So with that, I think they've done a nice job here the first 2 weeks of just getting our kids to buy in and survive the first 2 weeks and learn and really come together, because we've asked some players to move positions because we just weren't filling, especially on the offensive line, we weren't filling where we felt comfortable with what we had. So we've moved some things around, and so they gave up, whether it's a running back spot to go to the line. That stuff is what we really appreciated, and it takes a leader to do that. A big thing for, it's about the team, not that individual. So we really try to convince those guys and our seniors from way back when, in the spring, we're talking to them and just, in their ear, running a leadership program, that trying to convince them, hey, this is what it's about. This is how you lead, and trying to train them that way so they're ready for the season.
Sure. Oftentimes in sports, how you start a season is not how you end the season. Your team grows, it evolves. Who are maybe one or two of those kids this year that, as the season maybe gets to halfway or beyond, really kind of ramp up, or you maybe even expect them to really accelerate through the season?
I think Clayton Rarick, a senior running back, linebacker for us, is one that as the season goes on, he seems like he gets better and better and better, and he's a big key to it. Ethan Weinfertner is a center and a D tackle, so he basically leads our line and does a very nice job with that. He's maybe a little more vocal than the other ones. Stephen Buchanan, who is a running back and a D lineman, very quiet young man, but will outwork a lot of people, and his motor doesn't stop ever, and I think a lot of kids see that, and then it transfers over into them. His play transfers into them, and sees how he can dominate, and it rises their play a lot. So those, I think, are big top three that do a lot. And our quarterback, Quinn Brusso, very intelligent young man, and runs our offense very well. So I think those are some keys, not to mention not anyone else, but I think those are the keys that we have that lead our team right now. So.
Yeah, okay, good. Again, Coach on the Couch, we're visiting with Loyal football head coach Chris Lindner. Coach, you mentioned Clayton Rarick. I know we had a chance to interview Mr. Rarick and you for a magazine that'll be on the shelf here any day now, and we're looking forward to getting that out. There's some, I won't give away all the secrets in there, but there's a couple good ones in there, and I think the Loyal section in there is a pretty good one. And so go get the magazine. It's free to you, and they'll be available at different gas stations and different points all around central Wisconsin. And find out the schedules, including our live stream schedule this year. You can also visit ZaleskiSportsShow.com and check in every week for our live stream schedule week by week. So speaking now this year, you start the season with back-to-back non-conference games, Bangor and Ellsworth. We know a little bit about Bangor, returning state champions. What do you know about Ellsworth?
Ellsworth, Middle Border Conference, tough Middle Border Conference. They finished 4th last year. I do believe they were 4-3 in conference, 6-3 overall. Like I say to other people, Ellsworth is known as a wrestling school, but you see those kids playing football, and just from what we see, tough kids, kids that aren't going to give up, and quick. They're not real big. They got a couple big guys, but overall they're not real big. But they have that tendency to be quick and tough, and aren't willing to give up. So we definitely have our hands full with a little bit bigger school than we are. So we'll see what happens. We'll do our best.
Yeah, sounds like a good test to get out of the gates with.
Yes.
Get your feet wet in the season, and maybe test out some of those new concepts or existing concepts and plays that you got working. So all right, well, we're really looking forward to the season. We wish you best of luck. Our camera crews will be out and about all over central Wisconsin all year, including Loyal football and Loyal volleyball. So we look forward to both of those things. We've got a whole schedule, as I mentioned just a minute ago, live stream football games, including the last week of the year, Coach. We're going to be up in Abbotsford for Loyal Abbotsford. I mean, is that the game of the year for you?
I would say we'll get to that point. I think in our conference right now, I was with Gene DeListio yesterday, and just listening to numbers of our conference, they're down. And I just told them the one that stays healthiest, it seems like, who can survive will be the champion. So all the numbers are down. Obviously here the last 3 years, it's come down to us two. But there's a lot of things that go in a season, and then that can whether go wrong or whatever. So we're taking it one day at a time, one game at a time. We get to that point, and it's for the conference, great. If it isn't, we're going to still do our best and give everything we got. So.
And speaking of numbers, I'm pretty sure I got the math right, but the combined score of those two games, 32 total points. So 4 teams scoring, 32 points. I mean, that's a knockout, drag-out fight, no matter how you look at it. And that's no surprise that game's on our schedule this year. So we really look forward to it.
Good. Glad to have it.
Yeah. And I know, Coach, you got to take it one game at a time, and tough to talk about that last game of the year. We'll have opportunities as the schedule unfolds to perhaps see a couple more times. Like I said, highlights will be out. So we'll have camera crews at a bunch of your football games anyway. So we look forward to seeing you at those games, and best of luck in 2018.
Well, thank you. We're looking forward to having you.
Yeah, good. All right, guys. That has been this edition of Coach on the Couch. We'll see you next time.